Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm so glad you're here on this Christmas Eve morning. What a special day it is, and we're getting so excited, and we're just glad to be able to do the show on Christmas Eve. I want to thank Jeff and the whole staff here for helping us out. And speaking of helping us out, you notice we have a Christmas tree. And when I got in, these ladies here are so thoughtful. If you remember in years past, Gail comes down, we decorate all kind of stuff for Christmas, holly stuff, and all kind of Christmas stuff. Well, as you know, this year our plans were sort of skewed by Michael, and we blame Michael on a lot of things, and justifiably so. So here I am sitting here and no Christmas stuff, and this is Donna's. This is Donna's Christmas tree, right next to her office, right next door to the studio right here. So she brought in the Christmas tree. So I want to thank, we have two Donnas here. Both Donnas are just sweet as they can be and helpful. And then Shauna, she comes in, and those three ladies are very, very helpful and very, very kind and considerate. I appreciate them for all the things they do. And I tried to get them, and there's another thing now before we get to the weather, I'm going to ramble a lot today. I tried to talk them into coming in here and singing a Christmas carol for y'all, and they won't do it. And then if I get Jeff to do it, he won't do it. But I feel bad about it. I know years past on Christmas Eve I'll have Whitney do a Christmas carol or something, and I feel bad about it, about not getting you a Christmas carol this year. But again, I really do. So I promise you, that's one of my New Year's resolutions. We're going to get back doing some singing here on Panhandle Outdoors. Not me, but some of our guests. Every now and then we're going to just fire up a song for you, and we're going to do it live right here in the studio too. So we may record some, but most of it's going to be good stuff, and because music is so important to so many people. All right, let's get started with our weather. High today, it's going to be 66, low 49, water temperature 61. And our moon phase, we're just having a full moon, so we're going the next week or so, we're going to be in waning stages of the moon. Now the tide forecast, real strong tide today. If you have a chance to go, 8:18 will be the low tide. Check this out too. If you keep up with the tides, winter tide's always low in the morning. Okay, that's the way it is. So especially when we get a north wind or something, extremely low. So low tides in the morning, but we always got an incoming tide in the afternoon. So high tide is this afternoon, or actually tonight, at 10:06 when Santa Claus will be coming through the air. Marine forecast east-southeast at about 5. All right, let's take a break and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. And it's Christmas time, and everybody's excited about it. I always want to start the shows off, and we talk about the reason for the season, and of course, it's the birth of our Lord Jesus Christ on that special morning, and what that does is basically gives us hope for everything, and it's been ingrained in us. I know we're going to do all kinds of celebrating and all, but our family, is good to have all the family down. Our family gathers together. I know a lot of y'all do, and before we open presents and all, we just sit around, we have a fire going, and just we'll talk about the year and what we're thankful for, and it's always so special the Christmas morning. And then after we do all that, and talk about all kind of things, we just have an open heart and just go around. And everybody just opens up. And over the years, it's really become special. So I hope you and your family do things and like that, and just the joy and the hardships we've had. And speaking of hardships, the Panhandle has been pounded, and we know that, and it's been a special year of hardships and for so many people. And yet, on the bright side, so many people have stepped up and come to the help of their neighbor, of people they don't even know. And speaking of religious things, I haven't done this yet. I want to thank the church organizations for what they've done, how organized they were. There's been all kinds of volunteers, but our churches, different ones have come in. I hope I don't leave out anybody. The Mormon church, they so organized, and they came in and helped so many people with tarps and all. I know a lot of those kids were in my class and all. I know a lot of those, and they did so much help. The Church of Christ, all the churches, the Baptist, the Billy Graham, Franklin Graham group, they came over to Weewah, and they've helped. And they're still, I saw them the other day, they're still over there. And what they're doing, they're roofing people's houses now that didn't have insurance. But those first couple of weeks, the Methodist churches, the Baptist churches, all these organizations, they already have it organized for their disaster relief program. And man, I saw some amazing things and heartwarming. And then the individuals, like a lot of y'all, took things to people, cut the chainsaw out and helped people out and helped them clean up. And I tell you about the folks that came down and helped me, and we were able to help some people. And and listen, it's not over. People still need help going into 2019. I want to encourage you now. Don't slack up. Keep on helping folks, and just get on through there. And people still need some help. And thankfully, we've been wanting that. Our roof is now on, so we have a roof for Christmas, and have drywall up, and things are looking good. And that's how everybody's sort of building back. Some people aren't there yet, and still waiting for. Still see a lot of blue tarps. And I didn't want to get off on a tangent, but I just wanted to sort of evaluate this year and what it's meant to us. And you notice I didn't say anything about outdoors right now. This is human nature and what we've been through, and what the hope that we have ahead of us. And at Christmas time, what a way to celebrate. And so many good things will be coming. So I just wanted to mention that. A couple other little things about Christmas. We got, and this is sort of almost on the silly stage compared to look at everything else, but the Audubon bird count. That's right, the Audubon bird count. I've never gone to one. I've always read about them, and my sister-in-law, brother-in-law, sister-in-law in Dothan always used to do it. They don't do it anymore, but the Audubon bird count, they've been going on since the early 1900s, and people after Christmas, they get out. I'm going to try to get Audubon people on in January and talk about how many birds and all they found. I just think that's cool to go out and count the birds and all. I've always appreciated them doing that. So anyway, the Audubon bird count goes on if you want to jump in on that. Also, New Year's, keep this in mind too. All kind of fireworks going off. I know Christmas, a lot of y'all do fireworks and all, but especially New Year's Eve and all. And don't forget about your pets, especially those dogs. When I was younger, we didn't think about them bothering the dogs and all. As they got older, and it scares them. It's as simple as that. Now people are a lot more aware of it, and you have to your dog better than anybody else. You know how you need to treat them. I know. When I was training my labs, my bird dogs way back in the day, I was training my labs. I used to love to do that. And I would have them in the front yard, and I wanted them to sit, and I wanted them to get used to a gunshot because they're going to be retrieving dove and ducks right next to me. So when I started training them, I got a firecracker. I'd make them sit and stay and go around the back side of the house up by the road and light a firecracker. And at first they'd flinch a little bit, and then I got a firecracker closer, and that's how I trained them to get used to a gunshot. Pretty soon it doesn't bother them a bit. But now when it comes out once a year, like on New Year's, it's going to scare them. So be aware of that and help them out on it. Bless their heart, I'd say when you see that tail tucked between the legs, you know they're scared. They need some help. So don't forget about the dogs during that season. All right, let's take a break and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. This is one of the days I wish I had an hour long because I got so much to do, but we're going to go with what we got. Here's a real quick poster of what I just talked about. The Audubon Christmas bird count. Been going on forever, so you want to check it out. That's just something cool. I'm going to do that one year. I got a couple of pictures sent to us. Kenny Bostic sent to Winston Chester. Winston, here's a picture of the big buck my son-in-law, Todd Burke, harvested on our farm this year. Thanks. And that's Todd. They live over there, the Burke family lives over there in South Walton now. That's a nice buck up there off Kenny's farm. Okay, next picture right here. My nephew, my niece's son, Hunter Jordan. Remember, they went up to Arkansas, didn't find any ducks. And look at here. They came back down here to Franklin County, and look at that duck right there. Look at the ducks those boys got. I don't have, Hunter's gonna send me their names, but there's some good duck hunters over in Franklin County. Good job. And how about this, the Cape San Blas Lighthouse for Christmas 2018. This is looking in toward Port St. Joe. That's the lighthouse. Isn't that a great Christmas card for this time of year? That's the lighthouse all decorated. Congratulations, all those folks down there doing all that work and bringing some peace and beauty at this time of the year down there. And my children want a cat for Christmas. Normally I'll cook a turkey, but hey, whatever makes them happy. Okay, it might be too early for that one. And this is the last one. This is funny. This is with my buddy Fred Myers. Me, this is Fred talking. Carter, will you go light the grill? Carter, oh yeah, that would be fun. Me, Carter, how do you think we're going to cook? Look what he did, folks. He put a charcoal on top. He put a charcoal. I told Fred that's going to be a classic now. He lit the grill all right, but he forgot to put the charcoal under the grill. So that's a good picture to end on for the year 2018. Now, I told Fred I want him to come on because they're doing a lot of outdoor stuff during the holidays, and they're going to come on in January. We're going to have all kind of guests coming on in January, all kind of. I'm excited. I honestly, I'm not just saying that to just make you feel good and all that stuff about being optimistic. I am really excited about 2019 and the whole spectrum of our lives. Personally, professionally, this show is going to be a great year on the show. The rebuilding that we're all doing and the optimism that I see coming out, I know you just wait and see. Maybe I ought to be able to wait and see what's going to happen. And so many good things are going on. So I want to encourage you to be a part of it. And again, get back to Christmas. And I do want to say this: a lot of folks aren't fortunate enough to have family around, or maybe families sort of split up and away from them this year and all, or all kind of different situations at people's homes and all. And I know, so the joy and all that some of us feel, some other people may not feel it. So spend some time, if you know people in that situation, spend some time with them, call them up or invite them over or whatever, and spend some time with them. I know for us personally, and a lot of people this way too, is also the saddest time of the year, in the 12 months of the year, the saddest time for us is when our family packs up and leaves and heads back. And those couple of days after everybody leaves, it's just it's a sad time. We're just sad. I mean, and that's part of, we can't be happy 365 days a year, and it's sad for us and a lot of other people too. So we always try to do something special and try to get our minds off of it. A lot of times we'll do different things, but when they walk out the door and get in that car and drive off, it's just, y'all know what I'm talking about. It's just a sad time. So be aware of a lot of people doing that. Getting back to helping people too. There's a group of people here that needs help and haven't got a lot of publicity, and that's really our local boat captains. The guys, the inshore guys. I mentioned a time or two on the show. Inshore guys and all, they lost their complete income for for all of October. That's the best month of the year. October and November, they lost everything, and as far as business, and they don't have insurance for. There's no way you can insure loss of business for that kind of business. So if you get a chance to plan a fishing trip or something, give them a call, set up some kind of Christmas, maybe not Christmas, but after the holidays, some kind of trip. Sheepshead's going to be biting. It's going to be all kind of, February is, the month of the year for sheepshead. So if you get a chance to go charter a local captain, they'll be tickled to take you, and I can promise you, you'll be happy about it. Now, I don't have my resolution today. I talked about having resolutions. I don't have time to get into them. They're so spread. There's so many resolutions and all. I'm going to have to compact it, narrow it down, and tell you about some of the things. I've got a set of them and all kinds of things I'm excited about. I've got a couple of new things I'm going to do this year that I'm really looking forward to. Also, looking back, you always want to reflect back on the year and all. We're going to talk about that. One of the things I want to talk about is, on the show, on Panhandle Outdoors, have we accomplished our goals? Remember, our goals is to inform, entertain, and encourage. Those three things. And if we've done any of that to you, we're happy. So sometimes during the course of those 260 shows, if you feel that way, then we're happy. And we're going to continue to do that. I'm very thankful to be in a position to do that. So that's going to be our goals next year. So if you, and a lot of y'all, it's not just not me, it's y'all doing it as far as informing, as far as entertaining and encouraging each other. Y'all do it as much as I do. So I get a kick out of watching y'all do that. And anyway, I just wanted to mention that as we end the year and all. So let's take our final break, and we're going to come right back. We wish you a Merry Christmas. Okay, that's it. That's this Christmas carol. Okay. I just want to have some kind of Christmas carol on. Now here we go. Fishing game time for today. We're looking at the last ones, 1:15 to 3:15 this morning. That's over. But this afternoon, 1:46, 3:46. Just as soon as you finish your Christmas last-minute shopping, jump in the water and catch a fish. Now, setting up this last segment we're going to do, I take pride in trying to end the year on something really good and positive. And this is actually an interview. We went. This is from our Seopa trip. This is our keynote speaker, and I did an interview with him after. To sum it up, when this man finished talking up there, when he finished, it was a spontaneous standing ovation. people. It's an amazing story that this man puts out. And so I got with him after the talk and back all the way. Gil and I interviewed him, and this interview, this will touch your heart. And as we look back on the destruction and everything we've had this past couple of months, it puts things in perspective as to what this man has been. He's an Army colonel. He's an Army colonel, and his story. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do next. In January, I'm going to take this story, this video, and take it to the schools and let them show it. I know, and it's only a 6-minute video, but I was thinking, what a way to end the year on such a positive note and a true story and all. And it ties in the things we love. It ties in our faith, our outdoors, and our outlook, and it's just. This man I admire very, very much, and I've got to know him a little bit. And like I say, we planned to show it the week after we got back from the trip, but things changed. So we're going to wrap it up. As I wrap things up, we're just going to show this interview and go off. And I see y'all next year. But I want to thank y'all for having a wonderful year on our show, all the feedback y'all have given us and all. It just means so much to me, and I really appreciate it. I wish you a very Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year, and God bless. And Jeff, let's run this video. Hi folks, today here with Colonel Greg Gadson from the U.S. Army. Greg, I heard you speak today at our keynote speaker, and your story just floored us, and what an amazing testimonial you have. And I've asked you to share this with our Panhandle Outdoor viewers. So, if you would, just sort of tell us your story, okay, man?
Well, thank you, Winston, and I appreciate the opportunity to share it with you. Well, first of all, as you know, I said this afternoon, my story is really about my team. I was privileged to lead soldiers in the combat, and ultimately those soldiers saved my life. On May 7th, 2007, I was wounded after attending a memorial service, ironically, for Specialist Armando Pineda and First Lieutenant Ryan Jones. My vehicle was hit by an improvised explosive device, or IED, and the blast ejected me from the vehicle, where I came to a rolling stop on my back. I was fortunate that men like First Sergeant Frederick Johnson, the senior non-commissioned officer in my patrol, was the first to locate me, and he began to resuscitate me, and a young man, Private Eric Brown, would put the tourniquets on my legs back to the doctor, saved my life. Now, what I omitted this afternoon was that just to give you a sense of my wounds is that in the first 4 to 6 hours after I was wounded, I went through 129 units of blood. To give you a perspective of how dangerous Iraq was in May of 2007, 131 U.S. service members paid with their lives in the month of May 2007 alone. So it was a very dangerous situation. Ultimately, I was evacuated, and I got to Walter Reed Army Medical Center in Washington, D.C. on the 11th of May. And over the next 2 weeks, I would lose my legs. The doctors had to take my left leg to save my life on the 18th of May, and I made the decision for them to amputate my right leg. But what is, I think, most relevant for you in this forum is really the first time that I left Walter Reed, barely 3 months after I was wounded, was a trip to Vail, Colorado, sponsored by the Vail Veterans Program. And it was that experience of being in the outdoors that really changed my life. It fundamentally gave me an opportunity to be outside and really understand that although my life had changed, I could still do everything that I wanted to do in life. I just had to realize that I had to do it differently. And on that trip alone, I was able to ride a horse, rest in the saddle, whitewater raft with my family. I did some fly fishing, and really, what it really underscored was the capability of my capabilities. And I'm just grateful that we have an outdoors, that we have an environment where someone like me can recalibrate themselves, can come to peace with our injuries, and a safe setting and a surrounding that means you no harm.
Colonel, you mentioned today that when the blast occurred and you landed out there before you lost consciousness, you said, what about, you asked
yes.
God, you said, you asked God what?
Yes, I am here today. You know, what I didn't start out with is that I'm here because of my Lord and Savior. And when I was landing on that ground, the last thing I said before I lost consciousness was, God, I don't want to die here in this country. That was my abbreviated prayer. And I appreciate you asking me that, Winston, because I thank God that I had a relationship with God, and then I knew to call on God at that moment, because I might not be here if I didn't.
That's awesome. And now today, you were telling me that you still enjoy outdoors. Has been your faith in outdoors has been your savior, I guess.
Yep.
And you what are some outdoor things you do now?
Well, I've been blessed. Even in the last couple of months, I've jumped out of an airplane out in Wyoming with the. Out in Wyoming, I've done some shooting. I shot a trap out of a motorcycle sidecar. I swam with, dove with some whale sharks in the Georgia aquarium. And so, you know, again, life has its challenges, but, you know, I just really want to take advantage of what our environment has, and the outdoors is a great part of it.
Well, that's awesome. And then today, when you gave that talk, and we had a room full of 200-something outdoor people and all, at the end of your talk, you just got a spontaneous standing ovation. And that's the appreciation we have for you. And on behalf of our viewers at Panhandle Outdoors and me and my family, we want to thank you for the service you gave America and the wonderful attitude that you have now.
Well, thank you, Winston. I appreciate the opportunity to again share my story. I appreciate your patriotism. You guys are really the stewards and the folks that keep our conscience straight on and making sure that other generations can enjoy what we enjoy.
Well, thank you, sir.
Absolutely, sir.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.